Okay, here's a video sort of describing the painting that we discussed in the podcast. I can't remember what it's called. What's it called, kid? Roughly, or what's it?
Its working title was "I Know It's Over."
Right, cool. So let's talk us through it, like, and I'll point this at it.
I don't know, what do I say about it?
I can't remember what we talked about, but
yeah, I feel like I said most of it on the podcast thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I've been repeating myself a bit.
well, I'll sort of, if you sort of, we could briefly see anyway that there's a sort of target type shape going on.
Yeah, you got that sort of circular composition in it.
We're kind of starting, if we start at the central point, and that's right in the middle, and then you can see the branches go around, and here's them sort of the flowers with the centre points in, moving down the right hand side with the branches.
It's more broken up there, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
more, I would say it's a bit more smooth and sort of flowing over on this left hand side. And that top corner, it's more resolved. It's a bit further on.
Yeah, like this area down here is a bit less detailed at the minute 'cause it's not entirely finished.
No, I mean you can see, like if you look at these bits here, like middle of these, and compare it to the middle of them, you can see that there's the details kind of lacking in these. They're a bit fuzzy and these are a bit sharp. I mean, these still aren't finished, still not right. And the detail in this lichen up here is still not resolved either. But it's getting there. It just needs crisping up, you know. And
Yeah,
certain
grey, and you can see you sort of detail it a little bit. You can see the painting.
yeah, that's something that always gets lost when when people see them online or as prints or what have you. You know, I always get that thing where people go, "Oh, it looks just like a photograph," and it don't.
Yeah.
It just don't to me.
No, it's
I mean,
not.
it particularly great when people say it if they're in front of the painting. It's like, oh.
Yeah, but we can see it kind of goes around the centre point, which kind of resolves and around. And I'm sort of reading it in a sort of traditional English fashion, I guess, in terms of left to right, clockwise. And it kind of wants to resolve at this point musically. And we can see the space that we talked about in this sort of branch in the top area. And there's that little, I think we described how that little piece there was taken out, but painted out, but it's painted back in to sort of supply a sense of balance. Which
It just acts like for me. It just acts like a little counterweight in the top right hand corner.
But yeah, so anyway, there's the painting that we discussed, and I think we very briefly discussed like this one, which we were talking about.
Yeah, when that was kind of when all the work came in a bit and all got a bit dark and a bit depressing, and you know, it's quite difficult to work on that one still because it wasn't a good time. You know,
what have you got left to finish on this one?
There's a lot of work to do on this still. The image is there, the colours are right, everything's where it needs to be, but it all needs bringing together still. I want to get a better feeling of separation. I want to make it feel like the windows are there rather than, you know, get more of a feeling of glass. It'll be that's doing tricks with light. I mean, I've got bits of the dirt in on the windows and what have you, but it's hard to describe what I'll do with it. I'll just keep painting it until it's right. But the woodwork behind that all needs, like this bit, the shadow there needs darkening, bit of darkening there, bit of bringing out highlights here. But the colour of that grey isn't quite right yet. I still haven't quite nailed it. Because the grey in that, it's made out of blue and orange mixed together, quite a bright blue and quite a bright orange. and a little bit of permanent rose in it, if I remember right. I've got it written down somewhere in case I ever forgot. I'm trying to neutralise the colours by using colours that are the opposite end of the colour spectrum, opposite sides of the colour wheel. So blue and orange are complementary colours, and if you get the right blue and the right orange and mix them together, they neutralise one another and go grey. But it's a little bit too... The grey in the windows is a little bit too cold for the rest of the image. I want it warmer so it brings out the cool purples and magentas and what have you in the blues in the sweet peas. And just like this reflection down here of the window, it's just a bit shit. Just needs work. Just what I'll do now is I'll paint the whole surface again. I'll go over the entire thing with translucent glazes, so this will show through, but it'll just resolve it. It'll just sharpen it all up and balance the colour a bit nicer. There's bits like down here that you can hardly see, which is the red cotton in it. That needs a ton of work to get the shadows and the shape of it right and what have you. But yeah, I mean, if you close in on that bit, you can see that it's kind of got the right, things are kind of in the right place, but the paint itself's a bit ugly. So yeah, I want to get that right.
Cool. Wicked. Right, I'll put this up and then sort of if you listen to the podcast, you can have a look and see what we were talking about.